Breaking news, Jane Unchained with a team of heroes who were instrumental in a last-minute rescue last night of hundreds of hens in Northern California. This makeshift team came together. Everybody played an extraordinary role. I want to start with the person who I heard it from, actually, John Flores, who we're trying to reach, but then he got me in touch with Island. Island, just tell us briefly how you connected. You helped connect. Everybody's a hero here, but how you helped connect us all so that we were all able to rescue these chickens.
Well, it was definitely a group effort. Erin and I are the co-founders of an organization together, Youth Lobby for Animal-Free Farms, and we're always actively looking for this kind of stuff, how we can support each other and such. Erin's actually in New York right now, and she had John's contact, and we were just contacting everyone we possibly could when we found out about this rescue, and then he put us in contact with all of you guys. So it's really just, networking with amazing people.
I want to show a video. This video just came in. This is a breaking news story. Check out the hens who are not going to end up on a plate somewhere or tossed in a garbage can, who are going to live their lives because of this team of heroes.
You're doing great, ladies.
Wow. I think everybody deserves a round of applause for that. Now, the hardest part of this story is trying to give everybody all the compliments they deserve, because everybody came together. And you're seeing some cages over there. I'm wondering if those are cages where the hens are, but let me go right now to Zoe Rosenberg. Have they arrived? Because I know they were picked up from the farm. We won't have to say where, but it was picked up from the farm. There were various sanctuaries involved, including Charlie's Acres Animal Sanctuary, and then they worked with you to get them to you, Zoe. So tell us about that.
Yeah, so the hens aren't here quite yet. They're going to be here in the next few hours. So they're going to be here at around 1:30, and Charlie's Acres got them really late last night, got them out of the farm, and they are on their way here right now, currently in a van, getting here right now, and we're going to give them all health checks, get them all taken care of, and make sure that they're all healthy and get to go to loving forever homes. And we have over 300 saved yesterday and over 200 heading here right now.
Absolutely incredible. Let's show some footage that just came in of the actual rescue in progress. Can you believe that? Now, Charlie's Acres want to give you huge props. We called you out of the blue. We said, stop whatever you're doing and go to this farm several hours away and rescue these animals. And you were like, we're on it. Amazing, amazing. Tell us what your journey was like.
It was quite the experience. This was my first time going to a CAFO like this. And so, I've seen videos from PETA and other organizations like that, but being there in person was a totally different experience.
Actually, can you, if anybody has audio up, turn it off, because it's reverbing. So turn off your audio of this show, just have your own audio. So let me ask you, Lisa, Karlan, you also got involved. What did you do?
So when I first got the message in the morning, the first thing I did is I reached out to my network and I texted and emailed some of the people about the post that I saw. Connie Spence had posted something and she tagged me on the post. So I reached out and I contacted Zoe at Happy Hen Animal Sanctuary and said, what can we do? And Zoe said, I already know about it. So then we worked during the course of the day to mobilize our resources and be able to arrange for transportation and to get them out of there. And there were so many organizations that helped out, but we do want to speak out to Charlie's Acres, because they were instrumental in making the first response, because we're in Southern California, Charlie's Acres is in Northern California, and they were able to send their people. I'll let them tell the story. They were able to send their people to the farm at a certain time to be able to pick up those hens.
All right. Yeah, let's go back to Charlie's Acres. I was going to say Charlie's Angels, but Charlie's Acres.
Yeah, so we got there at about 9:30 at night when all the chickens were ready for bed, and we pulled our horse trailer up and just went into the farm, into this big, huge shed. It was pitch black, so we were just using these tiny little flashlights and grabbing chickens where we could. We were walking out with 3-4 chickens in our arms at a time, and just trying to get as many out of there as we possibly could. We definitely lost count towards the end there. We're just trying to get in as many as we could take with us.
And you're looking at some of the footage that you sent me of this rescue. What was it like emotionally? Were you did you have to leave any behind? And we're going to get to one of the folks who will tell us a little bit about that. In fact, maybe we should go first to Carrie. Tell us, put this in context, because this is a fast changing story. And what I heard when I got involved was there were thousands of chickens and that the farmer would let some go, but you're saying it's more nuanced than that. Lay it out for us.
So I received a message last
Oh,
Thursday.
hold on.
You're fine. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I received a message from a close friend last Thursday who has a really good network. And she said, look, what do you think we can do? And I said, we'll step up. We're on it. And it was just such short notice, especially you got to keep in mind, it's the 4th of July weekend. We're trying to rent cargo vans because we did not have trailers and trying to get people involved. And it was just really hard with the notice we had. So I turned to my partner. I said, what do you think about housing hens in our garage? So we're prepping our garage for over 100 hens.
What?
We're trying to rent vans. We could only get one because of the short notice. So, I reached out to some of the people. A friend was staying with me who had experience on hen rescues. She helped us with the prepping of what to get. And then I had Isabel from Chlorophyll come in, who does health checks. She does training with different sanctuaries on health check. She came in and she lives over an hour away from me and stayed over and just helped us pull and did all the health checks. Herd of Flock, they stepped up and they took our first however many
70.
First 70 they took in from us, but it was so late at night, and that's why we kept them in our garage.
Let me just sit here,
Because
and then if they have
Incredible.
And
Okay.
then
What's going on there? We got a rescue in progress there, Charlie?
Oh, we just needed some power.
Oh, okay. Well, you did such an incredible job. We've got some more footage. Not only did they do the rescue, but then they got this footage. So here's out. Where is that? Tell us, Charlie's Acres. What was that?
So that's at our sanctuary, and we loaded up all of the chickens after they spent the night with us in our barn. We loaded them all up into the trailer of one of our volunteers, and that is her heading over to Happy Hen.
Now I'm going to show you some pictures. They're going to go right over you guys, but look at these hens. I mean, look at that. There's a lack of feathers there. What condition did you find the hens in? And who would like to address that? Who's seen them?
I could address that. There was definitely a lot of hens in really poor condition. There was a lot of mites everywhere that we could see. There was a lot of dead hens that we were kind of stepping over, checking to see if anyone could be saved and brought back to the sanctuary with us. They were all very skinny, clearly very anemic, and a lot of feather loss.
So let me go back to some of the other people. Again, this was a team effort. I want to talk to Erin, because you were the Facebook post I saw when I was first trying to figure out what's going on. Because, in a situation like this, there's all this information. So one person saying 3,000 hens. Somebody else is saying 2,000. Somebody else saying they rescued this one. They rescued. It's confusing. And apparently somebody was reportedly in Berlin. But it turned out they were actually, and it was you, in Portland. Oh, it was Island. It was supposedly in Berlin, but Portland, but now you're in New York? Anyway, Erin, take it away.
So I was kind of helping out with trying to find some foster homes. I have a lot of connections in the animal rights world, so I was reaching out to a lot of my vegan contacts, and I am in New York, but the actual rescue took place on the West Coast. I don't know anything about the Berlin thing, but yeah, so Island actually told me about the entire rescue, and I just basically aided by posting in a couple vegan groups and on my Facebook and contacting like all of my vegan friends.
Wow. Well, you know what? I think it's absolutely incredible. And Island, you were kind of this mysterious figure who just, was she in Berlin? Was she in Portland? Where was she? But she was calling people, and I got you on the phone, and I was like, what's happening? And you were so great in helping to coordinate everybody. This is really showing the power of social media and activists coming together. I know Lisa. What the heck are you doing, Lisa? Off the phone. I know Lisa and I know Zoe, but I don't know anybody else. But we all work together. John Flores, also from Firm Tofu. He was the first one who called me. But Island, explain how this works for people who want to, and also the fact that we've got to now find homes for all these animals. Go ahead.
So like how we found out about it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, well, honestly, Erin and I are pretty new to the rescue scene ourselves. But we do honestly, you have to know where to look to find this kind of stuff, because you're not going to find factory farms advertising on their Facebook, free hens, come and get them, like happy to give them to nice activists, So you really just have to like build a network of contacts, honestly, contacting sanctuaries and animal rescues in your region or state, and just figuring out who you can call, and Facebook groups you can join to rehome. And that's honestly, social media is one of the most powerful things for rescues that I've seen, because that's where most of the emergencies are.
Absolutely. Let's show another video. This is breaking news. These folks in a team effort, and there's a couple of others who aren't here but were instrumental, rescued. What's the total, by the way? I was told, Carrie, that it was 300, but you're saying it's a lot more than that?
Yes, this process has been going on for 3 days. My partner and I went all 3 days for the pulling, so it's closer to 700 hens in 3 days.
Are you holding a hen?
I am. This is one of the girls, my partner.
Hold her up. Let me get rid of the banner so you can see her. Hide. Look at this baby. Look at this baby who was rescued. Oh.
She was more lethargic than some of the other ones, and we know people that'll take in more difficult cases of chickens, so I decided to pick her up.
Yeah, we definitely want to thank Kim Kuntz, who is doing the transport to Happy Hen, but because we had her and Christine Morrissey of Harvest Home that would take in special needs girls, so we were looking for them just to make sure we can get them out and what they need.
Oh, look at that baby, and multiply that by. But Carrie, tell me the full story. How many were originally, and then how many did get out? And I see, is her beak clipped?
Yes.
Show us that. Can you show us so people can see what they do to these poor animals? They chop off the edge of their beaks.
And they're very
peck each other to death.
Some are worse than others. Some are crooked, some where the top is shorter, which makes it harder for them to eat. Yeah, and she was so tired. She wouldn't even get up to do bowel movements or to eat. So I had to push the bowl really near her. And the only way that I knew is that she had some remnants on her beak. So I knew she was eating, but I don't really know how much. And she'll be going in a few minutes to Herd and Flock for her wellness checkup.
Oh, what a little angel. It makes me want to cry. I mean, these are billions of animals who are treated just like commodities, like widgets. And now, Zoe, they're all headed to you, and you've got a huge, huge job. But if anybody could do it, you can. Tell us what your plans are.
Yeah, so, we got this call yesterday afternoon and, found out that all of these chickens were literally going to be gassed to death. And, basically we just needed somewhere to bring them after they got pulled from the factory farm. So we said, okay, you can bring them here. We'll hold them here for a few days while we can find them home, and we'll get them taken care of. We have a full-time veterinarian on staff, so she will make sure that any chickens who need medical care get medical care. We'll be sure to treat them all for lice and mites. At these egg farms, the chickens are so tightly packed in with each other that it just creates a perfect environment for disease and parasites to spread. So one of the first things we always do is give them all health checks, make sure that they're all healthy, and if any aren't healthy, we put them we have an ICU here at Happy Hen Animal Sanctuary. So we put any chickens or any animals on the property who are having problems, we put in there, and my mom, who's again a veterinarian, takes care of them there. And we'll also be treating them all for, like I said, mites, lice, and any internal parasites. So
Now,
that's the first big thing.
We need to find these animals homes.
Yeah.
Zoe is, look at her, one incredible girl, young woman, but this is now what? How many are coming to you?
I think about 220. So we need lots of homes.
Lots of homes. So there is a GoFundMe page that Lisa Karlan created, and it's tagged in the comments. You just created it. Literally, this is breaking news. They're not even there yet. They're on the road right now. And so this is breaking news, and we need to find homes. Lisa, tell us about your GoFundMe. I can't hear you. All right. Lost your turn. Hold on. I'm going to show a footage again we'll get back to you though.
Okay.
I hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah. All right. So I created a GoFundMe on Facebook, and the link to it, I pinned it to the top of the comments. So it should be there on this post. So if everybody on this stream, so if everybody could please share that link, that would be really fantastic.
And
because
who is the
get that out there.
beneficiary?
Now, I must say, in my haste, I made the mistake. We want to raise $3,500. I accidentally made a mistake with the zeros and ended up putting an extra zero. So it says 350,000. We are not trying to raise 350,000. And I've been, you saw me back here futzing around as I'm trying to edit it, and I just can't seem to do that while I'm on this live stream.
You know what? It's okay. We'll raise $350,000, but everybody, $5, $10, $20, $100, $1,000. Zoe needs money at her Happy Hen Animal Sanctuary for feed, for veterinary care, all sorts of things. Let's show one more video of these hens who were rescued from death. Now, there's some talk about, let me just say this. The farmer is really doing his best to save the lives of these animals. And let's put that in context, is that these farmers are often put in these situations where they're basically indentured servants. They are pitted against each other. They're put with terrible loans. I just read a whole article in Vox that outlines this system that is like literally indentured servitude. And they don't like, this farmer and many others don't like the conditions of the animals, and they are trying to help them. It's a terrible system. And so that's why we're working with farmers to try to transition them out. Let's not make this about people. Let's make this about principles, because a lot of these farmers want to get out, but they don't know how. So that being said, let's take a look So kudos to the farmer for calling all of the activists and saying, come and get these animals. Let's take a look at another video of them being rescued. So where was that? If you could, who knows where that was happening?
So that was at Charlie's Acres at about 2 o'clock in the morning last night. We were unloading them from our horse trailer and setting them up in a temporary space in our barn where they could spend the night before making the second leg of their stretch to Happy Hens today.
Wow. And let's just meet the stars of this show one more time. So, and there you see, and you hear the rescuers saying, you're doing great, ladies, which is so wonderful because it's got to be stressful for them, right? I mean, Carrie, you're holding one right now, so maybe you could address that.
Yeah, it is. It was really hot and it's long. We don't know, when they were last fed or had water. So a lot of them were so dehydrated. And
they had food in there.
Yeah, and it's just the transports are long and hard on these girls. So,
well, let's see. Hold her up one more time. What are you going to name her?
I'm going to allow Kim Coons to name her because she's going home with her, and she will be so spoiled and loved by Kim. So that it's exciting.
You guys are amazing. This whole story brings tears to my eyes. I want to go back to some of the people who were remote, but were just as important as those on the ground in the sense that we all came together. And I think that's the miracle of it. Everybody literally, I got a call from John Flores in the morning and he told me about it. I went online. I saw Erin's tag. I saw the mysterious island. And then somebody called in the conversation. We're like, no, who's on an island? I said, no, it's not an island. There was a lot of chatter. I said, there's somebody named Island. So tell us, Island, what are your feelings and your emotions as you see all your hard work has resulted in these animals being whisked as we speak right now to safety?
Erin and I were talking about it last night, just really shocked. Ever since I went vegan in the first place, I've been wanting to do a rescue like this, and I've always wanted to do like direct action liberation and all that kind of stuff. And even though I couldn't be there, I haven't even processed that, because of all these great people and just connecting with everyone, that we saved over 700 lives. And that is an amazing thing because every chicken's life and every hen's life is so real to them and so tangible. And just to know that for the first time in their lives, they're all going to be walking on grass and they're going to be able to forage and they're going to be able to have calcium supplements for once in their life, that makes me really, really happy.
That is amazing. Absolutely. It brings tears to my eyes. Erin, what are you feeling right now?
When Island first told me the news of we managed to save over 700 lives, even though I'm on the other side of the country, I was literally in tears. I was just so happy. We were actually on FaceTime and she told me and we were both so happy and yeah, we got really excited, told her family. We're in just absolute happy tears.
Are your parents proud of you?
Yeah. Yeah, they were very happy that we did it. They were really proud and they are hoping to see some videos and pictures of the hens getting a second chance at life.
Oh, well, share it out. Share out this video, everybody, because we need to raise funds. So, Zoe, when the animals arrive at your sanctuary, which is the Happy Hen Sanctuary in beautiful San Luis Obispo, what happens? What's the process?
Yeah, well, we're gonna have to unload them all from Kim's vehicle. She's got them all loaded up in crates right now, and obviously these girls are gonna be eager to get out of their crates so they can stretch their legs, as chickens do, and learn how to sunbathe and dust bathe and do all the things that chickens naturally should always have been able to do, but on the factory farms they obviously can't. So as soon as they get here, we'll get them loaded off the vans, let them kind of just chill, and they'll, it's really stressful for them driving all this way. They'll need food and water, so we'll get them hydrated and let them eat some food. And probably tomorrow morning, we'll get them all health checked and make sure they're all healthy, make sure they're all dewormed, make sure they're all treated for parasites, and then we'll be working on finding them all forever homes. There are 220 about coming here. They're going to be here in about 2 hours, and we need to find homes for all of these girls so that they can, they can live out their lives and get individual loving care and attention. And then, as we adopt these animals out, it allows us to continue keep our place open to save even more lives.
Here are some of the hens in a vehicle that is probably the vehicle taking them right now as we speak. This is breaking news. More than 700 chickens have been rescued, hens, from a farm in Northern California, thanks to the work of all of these individuals coming together, some physically going to rescue, some working social media and the phones to coordinate. I'm happy to say Jane Unchained was involved, and we helped facilitate some of the coordination. And Lisa Karlan has put up a GoFundMe page. We need, one of the reasons why this is so complicated and difficult is it's not cheap nor easy to take care of 700 hens. I've got 5 companion animals, and I feel like I'm running a sanctuary. But hens, especially when look at the condition of some of these hens, that's not good. So they're going to need to go to vets. They're going to need a lot of help. And so everybody can help by donating, sharing out this video. Actually, all of you, if you put your phones on silent, you could be sharing this out right now so that your friends are seeing it on your pages, like Charlie's Acres and all your other personal pages, because we need help. This is not the end of the story. This is the beginning of the story. And we've got one more just to show you like how these animals are transported. Now you're seeing a good video here because the box is open. But when they are normally transported, they are in open air trucks stacked in these tiny, tiny cages. Liberation! Liberation! You guys are amazing. Zoe, what plans do you have? I know this got literally thrown in your lap. And everybody, here's the thing that I really want to applaud everybody. This was something that had to be done immediately. People couldn't say, yeah, I'll think about it. I'll get back to you in a couple of weeks. No, they had to make a decision now. And Charlie's Acres jumped up and said, I'm going to go. Yes, we literally called them and we were like, we need you to go to a farm that's like several hours from where you are right now and rescue like hundreds of chickens. And they were like, great, we're on it. Like that's amazing. And then Zoe running Happy Hen. She also, we're like, Zoe, we need you to take over 100 chickens right now. And she's like, yes, but now we need everybody's help. So what would you say to people, Zoe, to encourage them to go to this GoFundMe page that's up right now and to give money?
Yeah, you can donate as little as $5, and I just want to say that goes such a long way because these animals cannot be saved without your help. And I think, animal sanctuaries just in general do not get enough support. So this, goes to all animal sanctuaries. Be sure to support all animal sanctuaries that are doing this work and saving animals, because it is really hard work and it is really, really expensive. And, it is animal sanctuaries that are bringing liberation to life. We are fighting for animal rights. We are fighting for animal liberation, and animal sanctuaries are getting animals out of these places and, setting the example of what we want the future world to look like, and giving, even though maybe we're not saving every last animal that's in a factory farm or in a slaughterhouse right now, the ones that we are saving, their lives will be transformed forever, and we can share their stories and have such a big impact on the world. And your donations help us to do that. And your donations help us to give these animals a really high standard of care, which is exactly what they deserve.
So here we go. We have Gloria Stokes. Are any of these sanctuaries near northern Nevada? My husband and I just bought property, and we love to adopt some animals that need love. Thank you, Gloria. What should Gloria do?
You can email me. My email address is Zoe, ZOE, @happyhen.org. And if there's anyone
put that up, Lisa Karlan, put it up if you can. Zoe, ZOE, @happyhen.org.
Yes, and anybody who's interested in adopting can please go ahead and email me.
So now we have another woman who says, so much suffering right now in this world from COVID, but it's amazing. People are still so clueless. Yes, what the world is starting to realize is that it's our abuse of animals that put us in this situation in the first place. Who would like to take that one on? You're itching, Carrie, to grab that.
Yeah, like I was telling people, just so that they had an idea, this farm that we went to was humane, organic, free range. And when you walk in, your heart really bleeds for these animals. So the most I can say is specifically leave eggs off your plate. There's so many great alternatives, but also people need to go vegan. They need to stop eating animals, exploiting animals. We are in the middle of the pandemic right now because of our exploitation of animals across the board. And I'm hoping that these girls will be great ambassadors and helping people make the connections and changing hearts and minds just everywhere. I mean, I think that their conditions speak loud, it's volumes. When you see them, you can't help but have such, sympathy and empathy towards them. So
can you hold up that little baby one more time?
Yeah, and watching her right now, she is struggling.
You're not in the frame. Oh, poor little angel. This is one of the more than 700 who were rescued. You could see her beak has been seared off. That's what they do. And also, these are the survivors. The male chicks are ground up alive. They're killed. They don't need males, so they're killed as well. So that's another. Please share this video out. Please donate to the GoFundMe. So I want to get final thoughts from everybody. Let's start with Elian. Or Island. Sorry. Island.
My final thoughts for this is if you guys are passionate about something and you want to start rescuing, or you want to start a sanctuary, or you want to do a micro sanctuary, or you just want to go vegan and you don't know how, it's all about meeting people, and you never have to be in it alone, especially in this awesome community, which is amazing. So make friends, trust your gut, and just try new things every day.
Absolutely. And let's go now to Erin.
Okay, sorry. I would say my final thoughts about this were, you just have to focus on the animals, and you have to get uncomfortable if you want to reach liberation. Island and I spent days not sleeping. Like, I think maybe 2 nights ago, I fell asleep at like 4 a.m. But we did it for the welfare of the animals. We did it to save them. And if we're able to sleep at 4 a.m., I think you guys will be able to leave eggs off your plate. And there are so many substitutes and vegan alternatives that you can definitely do it. you should go vegan.
You're bringing tears to my eyes. I hope that, I don't know how old you are, but I hope that you are representative of your generation, because I do feel that the new generation is who are going to take us to a more evolved species. You know, the younger kids are not as brainwashed. They don't see the bacon and egg commercials and all of those horrible brainwashing vehicles. You really, it impresses me so very much. So let's go to the heroes on the ground. Charlie's Acres. What are your final thoughts?
Just looking at everyone in this chat, I'm just really struck by how many different roles there are. And I just keep thinking how many different ways there are to help animals, from the coordinators to the transporters to adopters and housing at sanctuaries to getting press and educating. There's just really a place for everyone in this movement. So if you feel like, you know, one of these roles is not for you, maybe you don't think you can bring yourself to go directly to a farm, then you can just help educate and help coordinate. And there's just so many ways to get involved.
And I want to thank Charlie's Acres again for literally turning on a dime. We called you, and within 15 minutes, you had agreed and were making plans to create you can't just put them all in a truck without, you have to create little spaces, and there's all sorts of water issues, and it's very complicated. You just dove in, absolutely extraordinary. So Lisa, Karlan, we have to really kick it up with this GoFundMe. So are you willing to commit to, we're going to have to do a news release, put the GoFundMe in. We've got to do a lot now to raise it up.
I will do that. So I was able to change the amount to $3,500 that we're trying to raise. So the best thing we can do is people can share the video, share the link. If you want to adopt a hen, I've added, if you want to adopt one or more hens, please go to email Zoe at happyhen.org. Very simple address. It's in the comments. I've pinned the Facebook link to the comments of this stream. And I just want to thank Jane, because I saw this early in the morning yesterday, and I called up Zoe and she said, yeah, we know about it. I went, that's great. And I started to go on beyond my day. And then I got a call from Jane, Lisa, we need you now. And basically my entire day changed. And we worked so hard to make this happen. So thank you again to the sanctuaries, to Charlie's Acres, to Happy Hen. And now my concern is there are over 200 hens going to Happy Hen. They're going to need exams. They're going by a veterinarian, and they'll be able to do that. Dr. Zoe Rosenberg is going to volunteer her time to do that. They need deworming. That costs money. Each deworming kit has a certain amount of money that it costs, times 200 plus hens. And then they're going to need to be watched and observed, because what I learned is that in the nighttime when they want to sleep, they all congregate together and they will cluster, they'll clump together. Zoe can speak more about this. And sometimes the less strong hens can be suffocated. So they need somebody with them 24 hours a day. These people at Happy Hen aren't going to be able to sleep. They've got to keep them safe. Right, Zoe?
Whoa, Zoe.
Well, I don't know.
Clumping.
What was that?
I was talking about how they clump together at night.
Yeah.
And you have to watch them all night long.
All right.
So
that's why they're going to have to add people to their staff. They need boots on the ground. They need people that are trained. So they need to now bring in people, because they didn't expect to have 100 more hens than they had.
Yeah, and San Luis Obispo, I mean, people could go to San Luis Obispo and get 5 hens or 10 hens or 20 hens or 30 hens or 75 hens. Carrie, you and Taryn are taking in 100 hens?
We had, but they all went to herd and flock, and those were already our first round. Well,
second round.
Well, the first round that was in our garage, it was over 100, and Santa Cruz Animal Shelter was the first place who stepped up, and they took in a large amount and are doing health checks and adopting out. And then Herd and Flock took in the leftover portion, and those have all been adopted out. So, and then we had brought in, not last night, but the night before, a lot as well. which they'll get to be reunited with this grouping from last night.
I have to clarify something because look, this farmer, and we've given him tremendous props for doing this. You know, he could have just not done it, but I mean, obviously it's a chicken farm, so the chickens go to be killed. I mean, that's the whole purpose of a farm that raises animals for food,
Right.
Which of course we all know none of us eat animals, is unnecessary. So we had heard initially that they were going to be gassed as per some contract because, again, a lot of these farmers, they're like serfs or indentured servants to the consolidated powerhouses. There's only a handful left that run everything. They set the prices. They pit farmers against each other. And two of them aren't even American owned. So one's Chinese owned, one's Brazilian owned. But you're saying, no, they weren't going to be gassed. So can you explain from your knowledge, without mentioning the farmer, we're not even saying the town, what the real story is? Because I've gotten various conflicting accounts.
Now, what is wrong?
Everybody, I gotta take my dog out. So I'm going to say bye. Thank you very much for this. Please share the stream.
Bye, Lisa.
Yes. Okay, thank you, Lisa. Bye. Go ahead, Carrie.
His entire facility there holds 20,000 chickens. So when he got to a point of depopulation, that timing, he did not want the chickens' lives to basically end at that point. So I from what I recall, he put out an ad basically stating that he was going to sell the chickens, but of course on Craigslist you can't sell animals for nothing. You can't put animals out there for nothing. So he put a price, but he's not charging for any of them. Now,
but if you sell them to butchers, they're going to be killed. But in his mind,
he was not selling to butchers though.
Okay.
His intent was that he wanted as many of the chickens as possible to continue their lives.
Good.
The first time we were actually out there was July 4th, and it was very important because he was helping us load the chickens in the car, and he actually said, "It's great that these chickens are being liberated."
Whoa!
And that's really hard.
Now, this is the kind of moment I've been waiting for, because we want to transition farmers out of this hellish industry that also exploits them. And they often are trapped. And I would love to work with some major organizations to help this farmer, this good-hearted farmer, transition out of this industry. But just to give people an update, you're talking about depopulation, which from my research, what's happening is that the slaughterhouses have become, excuse me, hotbeds of the coronavirus. 26,000 slaughterhouse workers have died. 26,000 slaughterhouse workers have been tested positive, according to the Midwest Center for Investigative Reporting, and 95 have died. People connected to slaughterhouses. So it could be relatives. It could be, people tied to slaughterhouses. Now, that is causing some of them to shut down, and it's causing interruptions in the killing system. So the animals are getting backlogged at the farms, and the farmers are being forced to kill their animals themselves because they can't send them to the slaughterhouses. And a lot of these farmers are now coming face to face with what their industry is really all about, because it's one thing to say goodbye to an animal and say bye and not know where, not think about where it's going to be killed. It's another thing to kill the animals yourself. And a lot of farmers are having a wake-up moment as a result of this horror, which again, all stems from abuse of animals to begin with, because this is a zoonotic disease that has led to this pandemic. Just a little backstory on that. So thank you for all you do, and thank you for clarifying that, Tara. I really appreciate that. Taryn. So we were on final thoughts a few minutes ago. Sidetracked. By the way, I call Lisa Karlan the vegan ninja, because when you need something done right away, you call Lisa and she gets it done. But then, look, she's vanished. She's on to the next Mission Impossible. Okay, Zoe, did you give your final thoughts?
I did not. I guess my final thoughts are that I am so grateful to everybody who helped to make this rescue possible, including all the other sanctuaries that have stepped up to take large numbers of chickens or special needs chickens, or coordinate transport and placement. That's what makes this possible. So thank you so much to everyone who's helping out with this. And I will be posting lots of updates throughout the day, the next few days, once the hens arrive this afternoon. So if folks want to follow us over on Happy Hen Animal Sanctuary, we will be keeping folks posted on how the hens are doing, what kind of shape they're in. And I'm super grateful to everybody who's donating to help us take care of these chickens and sustain this work, because, again, this is what makes this possible. We can't do this without your support.
And we really hope that these animals will become ambassadors who will be, I think we have the 700, this is the 700 club. These are the ones who will hopefully lead the way for other animals to be liberated. But the fact that a farmer talked about liberating the animals, to me, of all the things I've heard, because this really touches my heart right now, that we are making progress and that nature is smarter than we are. And there's a message, and the message has to be heard loud and clear. Mother Nature is doing an intervention on the human race and saying, go to your room, think about what you've done, and come out more evolved and come out kinder. Whew. I've lost track of who's on final thoughts. So did you do final thoughts, Charlie's Acres? Okay, so I will give it to Carrie, and then I'll do my final thoughts.
We just want to say a big thank you to everyone who stepped up. We could not have done this. It's definitely a group effort. There's just so many people that it took to accomplish this. And the more people involved, the more lives that can be saved. And I don't know, it's very emotional. I think I'm still processing it after the last couple of days. And we're still not done. I mean, none of us are, because there's still health checks and adopting out. So it's still, it's a lot, but everyone just came through beautifully, and amazing things can happen when we work together. And there are farmers who are in between what they're doing and also wanting to see their animals live on. So I feel like with everything that it's about building relationships and just for the sake of these animals, and that's really it.
Wow.
I mean, we saw this farm go from probably 18,000 chickens down to maybe 12,000 the second time we came out, to last night he had 2,000 left. So, and we met a lot of the other people that came to take the chickens as well, and they were going to give those chickens the rest of their lives as well. So it's important to note that the farmer, his intent was that he could control the outcome of the hens. So he, there's a lot of gray area there.
And then I do want to add that when we were there yesterday, it was really cool because we were talking, and there's another guy who was picking up chickens, and who was an egg farmer, but we got talking to him, and he's vegetarian. So we just connected with another farmers, and we said, just please reach out when you are done with those girls. We would love to give them a second chance at life. And so, it's just keep talking to these farmers, keep making relationships. Let's save some more lives together.
Get phone numbers and emails, because this is just the beginning of a collaboration that we can have that can really be just changing the world. Okay, everybody did their final thoughts, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so my final thought is,
You're doing great, ladies.
this gives me hope for our world. I just am so thrilled that we were able to work together to do this. The job is just beginning. We do need everybody to pitch in. The GoFundMe link, I'm going to put it right on the intro. This is breaking news. Literally, one of our participants was creating a GoFundMe as we went live. The hens have not even arrived at Happy Hen Animal Sanctuary yet. We've got people in New York. We've got people in Portland. We've got people in California. We even have some mysterious person in Berlin, apparently. I'm not sure. In any case, Thank you, everyone. Be a part of the change. This is how we're going to save the planet, okay? Because climate change is in large part caused by animal agriculture. Habitat destruction, large part caused by animal agriculture. Wildlife extinction, in large part, to the greatest extent possible, caused by animal agriculture. And animal agriculture is why we have human world hunger. We're only 7.8 billion humans. We're killing 70 billion land animals every year who eat so much more than they produce as food. It's a crazy system. It causes pandemics. It gives people heart disease and cancer. Enough. Let's get rid of it. Just switch to veggie burgers. It's that simple. All right, people. Talk to you next time. We'll keep you updated. Bye.